Hello, I'm Whoopi. If you're new here, welcome. Today's video is part one of my faves of 2024. Normally, I do this at the end of the year, but last year was literally a circus, so we're doing it in January. Also, you may be able to hear the rain outside because I'm sat under the skylights, and that's actually okay because it's giving ambience. First category, movies. I am an avid cinema goer. I love the cinema, I love film, I love the process of making films. I love everything about them, right? They're fun, they're entertaining. Sadly, last year, I didn't get to go to the cinema as much as I usually do. This year I will do better. The first movie I want to talk about is Dune Part 2. For those who don't know, I have become a solid sci-fi girly and Dune took over my life for like a year. I read the monster of the book Dune after I'd watched Dune Part 1, I guess. They just called it Dune, so I don't know. It feels weird to call it Part 1 and Part 2, but I loved the book. I still think about it regularly. It's kind of my Roman Empire. Not so much as it was last year in terms of 2023, but she's still knocking around in here. I did a little solo date. I loved it. It was great. Like, Denis Villeneuve hit the mark once again. Hans Zimmer hit the mark once again. The actors were acting. And the changes they made from the books, I actually really appreciated and I didn't hate. One of the differences in the ending is that Chani actually understands the whole like political marriage thing and stays in the moment. Whereas in the movie version, she ups and leaves. And I think women's rights. Next one is Coraline, the re-release, and it was re-released in 3D. Oh, I love me a bit of Coraline, and I took a family friend who's literally like my sister, who's never seen Coraline before, to a 3D screening, and we both loved it. It was great. If you've never watched Coraline, I kind of recommend it. If you're really, really easily scared, maybe not, but this is a PG, so. Paddington 3, yes, Mr. Marmalade Bear. I think it's crazy because I haven't even seen Paddington 2, but one of the things my mum wanted for her birthday was for us as a family to go watch Paddington 3. I'm thinking it's just gonna be fun, lighthearted, bit cheeky. Why was I pretty much crying at the end? There were tears about to fall out of my eyes. Didn't need to be that emotional. If you ever just want a chill movie that has a bit of a laugh in it and also Antonio Banderas, Paddington 3 is the movie for you. Lastly, Wicked Part 1. The girlies that know me, they already know I have loved Wicked for many years. Not as many as I'd have liked, but I will love it for the rest of my life, so I guess it will make up for it. I was really scared approaching this film because it's very dear to a lot of people. They're making a musical, a movie, and like it's being made much bigger, blah, blah, blah. I was scared that some stuff was gonna get lost, but in fact, we gained so much. I was crying at the Ozdust ball scene. Like, I was crying with Cynthia. Me and Elphaba, twin, when she sang I'm Not That Girl, it hit so different because it was a black woman playing Elphaba. And I know that there have been black actresses who have played Elphaba in the musical, like in Broadway, West End. I've never actually seen a black Elphaba. So for me, I was just already in pieces. I didn't cry during I'm Not That Girl. I just felt really defeated. Especially when she said,
gold hair with a gentle curl.
Yeah. Also, the little changes in Defying Gravity, they really dragged it out, which I kind of was annoyed, but I also understood the wider picture. Like, I got the whole vision that John Chu was putting down. I would have liked it a little bit less drawn out, but hey. Part 2 is gonna wreck me though, because For Good is my favorite song in Wicked, and they've literally called like the next half of Wicked For Good. Why am I crying? Okay, that's enough. Next up, books. 2024, I hit a reading slump quite a few times, so I started reading random books off my mum's shelves. Some were cool, some didn't hit. I started the year off strong because I did like a mini book club moment with my bestie Jam, because she'd never read the Hunger Games series and I was about to reread them, so we did it together. But there were some bangers, and I'm gonna share my favorites right now. So the first one I want to talk about is All About Love by Bell Hooks. This book came out like 25 years ago slash however many years ago. I think reading it now in the day and age that we are, I actually had a lot of knowledge about some of the things she spoke about love, but it was really comforting to hear it being explained even more deeper and seeing how different branches reach different areas of life. I really enjoyed this. I took my time with it. I also read this like during like the worst months of my life. So this was like my little buddy, and she fits in my Uniqlo strap bag perfectly, so I could just be a little book girly everywhere I went. Next one is The Book That Wouldn't Burn. Now, sorry, why am I giving beauty influencer? This is a blind date with a book that I did with Waterstones. So I don't know if all Waterstones do this, but I know my one does, where they wrap books and then they just put like 4 bullet points on the front to be like, oh, this is the genre, this is some of the themes in the book, and you basically just have to guess and choose, kind of like a lottery. And I remember choosing this, and the guy gave me the receipt folded over and he was like, if you want to return it, here you are. I'm never returning this bad boy. I love this book. I would give it like a 4 out of 5. The reason why I didn't get a 5 was because the romance was like annoying me. Some of the scenes between the love interests, I was like, okay, can we get back to the main plot? They are the main plot, but I wanted more of the plot twist stuff. I will say, if you like Tenet and movies like that, you would love this book. My next faves have been faves before slash I think will always be a lifetime fave. I started reading Cassandra Clare books again, and I mean my whole collection. And now I have way more books because I got quite a few for Christmas. The only series of hers that I haven't read, as in the young adult ones, are the Chain of Gold ones, because I was like, I've been through too much trauma with this woman. She has too much of my money. But I started with the Infernal Devices, and then I read the Mortal Instruments series. After I read the Bane Chronicles, I read the Tales from Shadowhunter Academy, I reread the Red Scrolls of Magic. I'm now on the last book of the Dark Artificer series. This is the first one. Isn't she cute? Yeah, that's really all I have to say about them. I started reading them because I wanted to feel something again, and boy oh boy did they do that. I don't think I've read most of these books since I was literally like 16 or 17, and they actually do stand the test of time. I was worried that as an adult I was like, oh, they're not gonna hit. They still hit, and I still cried and still cry. So next thing I wanted to mention was not necessarily a fave, but it was literally the only resolution I made for 2024. I don't like to make resolutions. I prefer to just have a goal and see if I hit it by the end of the year, and if I don't, it's fine. We're gonna continue it rolling. Keep the ball going, you know? But in this case, I saw someone on TikTok say that they had a silly resolution, and it was like to make sure they always got their nails done every month or something. So I thought, what's something silly that I want to do? And I realized this is not silly at all, but at the time I was like, oh, slay, this will be fun. I decided I was gonna buy myself flowers once a month, every month for the whole year, and I've loved it so much that I'm gonna keep doing it, because not only was it fun, it wasn't necessarily a surprise, but it was me knowing that I was promising myself that I would commit to myself in a way. I was like, I'm committing to you, I'm gonna buy you flowers because I love you and you deserve flowers. And it's not like I have a man to do it for me. So favorite months, there weren't any. There weren't any. Yeah, thanks. And honestly, that is it for my faves part 1. I will be discussing my favorite albums, EPs, my favorite concerts slash basically all the concerts I went to last year, and my favorite outfits and my favorite videos next time. So if you're nosy and you want to see those two, come back next week. Anyways, goodbye. See ya.